I want to ask you one question again. How many shootings, not mass shootings, individual shootings, have there been at British schools since Dunblane and since the gun bans were brought in following Dunblane, since 1996? Do you know?
There was one before, and there haven't been any after.
No, I'm just asked you one question.
And I answered the question.
At a school,
Look,
how many shootings at a school have there been?
Sir,
are you agreeing with me that there have been zero?
Can I ask you?
0, 0, 0. Not 5, not 10. Zero shootings at a school in Britain since we brought in a gun ban. So you now have two countries because you're trying to change the question to one that suits you. And I'm trying to tell you, as the man who tells America more guns, less crime, that in countries where they have brought in gun control following massacres like Sandy Hook, they have seen zero mass shootings in one country, zero school shootings in another. That is my point to you, Mr. Lott.
Okay. How about Germany? Germany has even stricter laws than Australia has. And up until Newtown, they had 2 of the 3 worst public school shootings in the world. They had occurred despite these regulations that were there.
What's the average gun murder rate in Germany for the last 10 years? Do you know?
Pardon?
What
in the last 10 years, they had the 2 in the last 10 years. They had the
How many in the last 10 years have been killed by guns in Germany?
Germany had both of their shootings in the last 10 years.
No, I asked you how many people have been murdered with guns in Germany in the last 10 years. Do you know? Do you know?
Again, what you have
you cited Germany. Do you know the answer to the country you've raised as an example of proof of your argument? The answer is you don't know. Germany averages 50 gun murders a year. America averages 12,000 gun murders a year, Mr. Lott.
What's the point of having anybody on? Here's the deal.
You mentioned Germany,
not me. You bring up school shootings. I respond to school shootings, and then you go on to something else without letting me finish. So here's the deal. I finally get
the answers to the questions I ask you. The deal is it's my show, and I ask you the questions. Now, you're the man that wants to tell people like Neil Heslin that the answer to what happened to his son is more guns in America.
I have let you make many sentences here. You've talked most of the time, both before and after the break. So let me just try to deal with a couple things. One of the things you have a hard time understanding is the difference between levels and changes, okay? Countries differ in terms of murder rates for many reasons. So if we just take your German question about how many murders there are in Germany, Germany has relatively few murders. Switzerland has even fewer murders than Germany has. But the point is that Germany also had fewer murders, had even lower murders before they had the gun control rules that they had. The murders in UK, the murders in Germany, the murders in other countries have gone up after you've had bans put in place. And that seems to me pretty important.
You see, again, Mr. Lott, you are quoting statistics that suit your agenda, but the reality in Britain is
you just asked me about Germany having a lower murder rate.
In the 5-year period in Britain after Dunblane, there was a spike. And then, as you know, when the full impact of the gun ban came in the last 8 consecutive years in Britain, it has fallen, as you well know.
And it's
you know that's a fact.
Look, sir. First of all, it soared for the next 7 years. Britain had an 18% increase in the number of police in the country at that point, and that helped drive it down. But it's despite having 18% more police, the murder rate in Britain is still higher now than it was before you had the handgun ban. Why is it still higher?
How many people were murdered in Britain last year with guns?
Look, the point is it was even lower before you had the ban.
You are citing the murder rate in Britain.
It's about a third. The murder rate in Britain is about a third what it is in the United States.
Oh,
but the point is it was even lower relative to the United States.
What an absolute lie. How many people were murdered in Britain last year by guns? How many?
It's much more. It makes much more sense to talk about murder rates to deal with differences in population.
Tell me how many people were. We are talking about guns.
I don't memorize number of murders.
How many people?
No, I'm talking
allow
about
me to introduce you to a hard fact.
So you don't care about the total number of people who died?
In 2011, in England and Wales,
you don't care about the total number of people
were killed with guns. In the same year in America, 11,000 were murdered with guns. 18,000 killed themselves with guns.
Okay, well, let me give you a couple of statistics about the United States
with gunfire, Mr. Lott.
Do you know that 78% of the counties in the United States have 0 murders in any given year? And that 3% of the counties account for over 70% of the murders? Where do you think the gun ownership is heaviest? The gun ownership is heaviest in those 78% of the counties that have 0 murders. The gun ownership is lowest.
Do you believe in universal background checks for all guns in America?
In theory, if you could fix the problems with the current background system, that would be great. Unfortunately, about 95% of those people who are denied as a result of background checks are false positives. It's people who, mistakes being made in the system because somebody has similar names. It's like Ted Kennedy getting on the no-fly list 5 times because there's somebody else that they want to deny who has the same name. But, you know, for many people, that may simply be an inconvenience. But when you're talking about 1.7 million initial denials there, you're talking about a significant, if small, number of people who are being threatened, who need to get a gun quickly for self-defense in order to save their lives. And that delay makes the difference between whether or not they're going to be safe or not and defend themselves.
Okay. The final question before we go, just you didn't answer it earlier, but of the 35 proposals for gun safety that the president is trying to bring in, how many of the 35 do you support?
I don't think I supported any of the ones that he had. I mean, a lot of them weren't real proposals.
You don't support any of them?
Well, a lot of them weren't real proposals. I mean, sure, I think there should be a head of the BATF. He's let a nomination lag for a couple of years without appointing somebody. Sure, he should appoint somebody. That's one thing that I think would be useful to do. There are a couple other things like that. Having people go and study certain issues are fine. But most of those things weren't really serious things that were going to go and solve anything, were they?
Okay, well, they are pretty serious if you're the father of a boy who's been
Look,
burned to
I have
pieces.
5
anyway,
kids.
Mr. Lott, we have to...
I have 5 kids. I can't imagine losing any of them for any reason. What you need to do sometimes is have shows about people who saved their lives, like these 10 cases in just this last month of December, where people had to fire multiple shots in order to save lives.
Mr. Lott, thank you for joining me again. I look forward to talking to you again about this. As you know, I disagree with you passionately, but I respect your right to have your opinion. When we come back...